Hey guys, this is CaseyKen34 of StudioPrime HD, and earlier my other friend Aiden made you guys a tutorial. He's part of StudioPrime HD too, and today we're going to be covering animating text. So you guys will be able to make your own intros after this tutorial. Just go over the basics in animation. So let's get started because we don't have much time, and let's just make some text right here. Go to MoGraph and text object. Click on our text object. And we'll go to let's type in SP, StudioPrime. Then we'll go down to Molot. Oh, my favorite text. Add some fillet caps. Leave them at 3.5, 3.5. Fillet type engraved. And that just, pretty much, as you can see, it adds like a elevated outline. And I'll constrain it, which doesn't make it touch each other. So basically, when you add fillet caps, it's gonna expand your text, and if you constrain it, it won't. So now we got our text. Let's get to our animation. We have, if we want to animate two separate letters, and you try to drag this like this, you're gonna move both letters. But first, before we do anything, let's go over some shortcuts. If you press E, you're going to get this axis thing that you have right here. R is your rotation, and T is your scale. And we're going to go back to our axis. And now 1, if you hold in 1, click and drag, you move left and right, up and down. 2, hold it in and click and drag. You zoom in, but it's kind of glitchy, and if you have a wheel mouse on your mouse, then that's a lot better. And 3, if you hold it in and click and drag, you're rotating around everything. And these shortcuts are really helpful, because without them I don't even know how I would get around the screen, and it just helps a lot. So let's get on now. So if we want to move two separate letters, we have to click on our object up here. Let's rename it SP, and we gotta press C on our keyboard, or we can come over here and click this Make Editable Object. It's the same thing, both do the same thing. So now we control click on this plus sign, and it opens up all the children. So now if we click on our S's and P's, we can drag them separately. That's what we wanted to do. So first off, for later purposes, we're gonna make these two editable right here, just these two. Press C again, or you can come up here, and now we have these more options, which are going to be for adding materials later. Now, for animating, we're going to do some reverse animation. Before we do that, I just want to show you this timeline thing down here. If you want more frames, you can add them right here, 400. And then this, you don't see 400 yet, but if you click this bar right here and drag it, you can see all of them. Drag it back, you can only see a certain amount. It says it right about there, what frame you're at. So that's that. Let's go back down at 200, and we're going to reverse keyframe now. At 150 frames, this is what we're saying. We're going to say we want, at 150 frames, we want these two letters to be right here. We got to set keyframes. So we're going to click on our S, go to coordinates, and we got to set coordinates. So basically, this is where we want the S to be. We're going to control click on these dots right here. And there's a faster way you can do it. I'll show you that on the next letter. But you don't want, we're not going to mess around with scale, so we won't keyframe that. This is position, this is scale, this is rotation. So if we go to P, you just click on the P and then control click on the R, you have them highlighted. So if you just control click in one of these little dots, you keyframe all of them, which is helpful and saves time. So now we're going to go back to 0 on our timeline by clicking and dragging that thing, and we're just going to move the P up over here. We're going to press R for our rotation, rotate it around, and over this time it's going to rotate to its original position again. So we're going to click on our P again. We got to you can see that these things changed yellow, our coordinates. And we're going to control click again because they're all highlighted, and it'll re-keyframe them all. And if you see the red dot that wasn't filled in, that means you didn't change that, we didn't move backwards in the z-axis, so we didn't have to re-keyframe it, but we did anyway. So now let's go to our S, and drag this all the way over here. We'll bring this one back forward in its z-axis, rotate it around, right there, click our S again, and we have all these yellow, so we're at 0, control click in the dot, and we set another keyframe. So basically, at 150 they'll be down here, and 1. Now watch, over this time they're going to gradually go down to here. It looks really nice. But let's say we wanted them to go down quicker. We can click our first keyframe that we set and drag it up to 130. So now it only has 20 frames to get down to that spot, and it's going to go a lot quicker. We have to do it with the P too. So let's set that to 130. So now watch, it's not going to do anything this whole time, but at frame 130 it's going to go down real quick. If you want it to start in the beginning, you can just drag the last keyframe back. So over 20 frames, and drag this back to 20, and from 0 to 20 it has that amount of time to get down to that position that we set the keyframe at. So it's just going to go real quick, and I'll just play it. Boom. Now if we drag this forward, it's back to where we want it at 150. It's going to go a lot slower. So we just play this right here, and that's our animation. Let's just add materials real quick. Actually, first we got to do the camera. We're not going to have time to add materials probably, but we'll try. So we're just going to, if you click on this button right here, it's going to put you inside of the camera, so you see what the camera sees, and you can navigate around with 1, 2, and 3. So let's go down to 0, and we're just going to focus on this S. Go to our coordinates and control click, and we have them all highlighted, so it keyframes all the rotation and position. Now at 150 we're going to go to that, and we're just going to rotate around, and I want it to be, the camera to be right here at 150. Control click again, set the keyframe, and over this amount of time it's going to rotate down to this position, and it follows the S, which looks really sweet. You can do the same thing with the P, just move the camera around, set different keyframes, but this is how that's how I did it. You can just leave it here, really doesn't matter. So you guys be creative and original, and that's about it, guys. And we can add materials. I'll just show you how to do the outlines. We're just going to open all this up. We did this in an earlier tutorial, but we're going to do it again. Just have textures made, just reflective colors. Just add the 2 on the S and the P, and then you just add the other color to the caps that you want in the middle. Make sure you add on to both caps, because one caps the front and one caps the back. So if I didn't add that to there, the P wouldn't be colored in the back, as you can see. Ooh. What the fudge on this? There you go. See, it's not colored in the back. So if we put the gray in there, it colors that in, and in the front. So that's about it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Come check out our channel. We upload the intros we make for people, and we have our own tutorials, so come check us out. That's it. See you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed.